I had switched gears so quickly from being so focused on one thing and then finally realizing this is not what I want anymore. At this point in my life, I finally feel like what I'm doing is fulfilling because ultimately it's to provide for my family.
My name's John Marston.
So I'm Rob Wiethoff. I did the voice and motion capture for John Marston in Red Dead Redemption, and glad to have you guys here. Seymour is not a real big place at all. It's a very family-oriented place. It's been good for me to grow up in that kind of an atmosphere. I didn't have any interest in acting really when I lived in Seymour at all. I was involved in the sports and different things like that. And I think around here, that was what you did to get that rush. There was a girl that I dated in college, and she moved to LA. I decided that I wanted to go out there for a week. Being from a small town, all you hear about big cities is how dangerous they are and how everybody's out to get you. So I called my ex-girlfriend, called her and said, I'm going to LA, and I know that you made friends when you lived out there. These girls turned out to be girlfriends and good friends of like Matthew McConaughey, Vince Vaughn, and over the course of the week that I was there, they really kind of convinced me that I could be a movie star. I'd move out there, they'd introduce me to their boyfriends would put me in their movies, and I had no idea how it worked, but I thought, those guys can probably make that happen, so maybe I'll try it out, whatever. I didn't plan, I didn't know what I was doing, and really if I did know what I was getting myself into, I probably wouldn't have done it. That whole idea of just come out here and our boyfriends will put you, that didn't ever really happen at all. My primary income was bartending, and then when I got a commercial or a print job or something like that, then that was that extra bonus, and it was that reason that kept me in town as long as I was there. When you first move to a big city like that, you try and get involved in an industry, you look at the view of all these homes and you think, okay, that person made it, that person, look at the size of that house up there, how cool that is. You start to think like, when I get there, I'm gonna be happy. I don't know exactly what we're doing, but we're doing something with insulation, or I'm gonna feed the machine and my brother-in-law is gonna spread it. When I went to LA, I never really felt like that was home. I always kind of knew that this area was my home, and I definitely spent, 9 years, almost 10 years in LA, so you get used to the way things are around there. I think that when you're around people that you can trust, you're just able to feel at home. This, and obviously this isn't my everyday job, but instead of sitting there in LA wishing I was booking more jobs, I really don't mind at all doing this kind of stuff, even though it's not the most glorious job in the world. I miss working with Rockstar. You know, that's always exciting and awesome to have that kind of an opportunity.
Hello, old friend. It's been a long time.
I got a call from my agent, hey, you booked that untitled video game project. And I said, oh, really? All right. I'm not a gamer. I've never really been much of a gamer, and that eventually surfaced throughout the first couple weeks of shooting because they would keep referring to GTA for different things. Remember in GTA when so-and-so did this and whatever? And I go, yeah. And I had no idea what he was talking about. And then finally, Rod Edge, the director, was like, did you ever play GTA? And I was like, I might have. I don't know what it is. And he was like, I knew it! Oh, you know, and then everybody was like, what? No way! And of course they didn't care. They just thought it was so funny that I was trying to pretend, because I didn't want to offend anybody or upset them or maybe be like, well, we can't have you be the guy because you don't know what you're doing. They just were like, you're doing a good job, so we're gonna run with it and make this work. It was awesome. The whole experience was.
I would say he was more than halfway done with the game when we started dating. He was telling my friend that he really wanted to take me out, and I had just gone back to school, so I just kept telling him, I was like, I can't go out, I can't see you, I'm not interested in dating. And he said, okay, well, I'll wait. And he said, when you are, let me know. And so the next day I called him and I said, I'm ready now. Because when someone tells you they'll wait when you live in LA, it's just, you don't hear that ever. I think when we started talking about getting married and having a family and all of that, it kind of put things in perspective maybe for him, I don't know.
She's from LA, knows that there's a lot of things that you can get into as a young kid, or, you know, just it might be easier to raise kids in a smaller town. I said, well, I know one of those where we could probably move.
His goal moving out there in the first place was to establish himself and become an actor. And I kept telling him if that was his dream, then we'd figure out a way to make it work there.
I just didn't want to do it anymore. I was tired. I was tired of people telling me they were going to do something and then being very excited about that and then having it not happen. There were a couple different conversations that I had with my mom, and she said something that I'll never forget. And she said, happiness is not a destination. You have to enjoy the journey. So don't think that you're ever going to just finally reach a day where you're happy. You have to enjoy every part of getting to where your goals are and really enjoy your life, you know? I think that the purpose thing really didn't set home until I got here with my family. You know, things could be very different. We could not have any kids when we really want them. And
our kids came 3 months early, so there was a lot of possibility for complications. And we've been really lucky that they've been so healthy.
And they're perfectly normal.
Yeah, perfectly normal. Just totally normal.
We are extremely fortunate to be in the position that we're in now, where they had no complications, but obviously they were born at 28 and a half weeks or whatever, which is very, very early, and they, I don't know if they spent 7 weeks in the NICU where they were all wired up to different things, keeping them alive. And I think that just watching these guys bang around the way that they do, it's awesome. It's awesome. Ready? Go! I didn't grow up in this house, but I did grow up on that lake, you know? So there's something really special about it. And it's just it's a cool place that I want my kids to experience, because it means so much to me to be out there. I got a great family. Sorry, I start going down this path and it's hard for me to stop. But yeah. My family, they've always been there for the good times and the bad times, you know. So what it feels like to be a part of this game and how the success, and it's cool. But you know, as far as what means something to me, it's my